Buenas chavales, aquí estoy con un nuevo vídeo, esta vez de NBA, en el que en este partido nos enfrentamos entre los equipos Wizards, de John Wall y Bradley Beal, como los más destacados de su equipo. Recordemos que en el anterior episodio conseguimos ganar a los Orlando Magic, haciendo un gran partido, y bueno, qué tal hacer este partido y queremos conseguir llegar al All-Star, que ya queda un poco para ello. Venga chavales, un saludo.
Sports checks in with our loyal viewers with a broadcast from Washington, the home of the Wizards, the Verizon Center. And now a quick check of our starting lineups for both teams. And as we take a look at Brandon Jennings right here, guys, what's your take?
Tell you what, I'd love to know how many of his assists have come by way of the screen and roll, because when he's the cutter on that play, inevitably one of his teammates winds up with a layup courtesy of one of his passes off the screen.
And also, he's absolutely able to do some incredible things in the air. I mean, he can look like a gymnast sometimes, twisting his body, double clutching his shot. But he maintains a smooth approach to it all.
For the Washington Wizards, they come in off a good outing against the Timberwolves in Minnesota. It was a close game. They needed overtime to finish them off.
That game nearly got away from them. A little bit fortunate to have survived at the end of regulation.
You know what? The overtime was a bit of a lifeline for them. Things really swung in their favor then, and they were very strong in that extra session.
For the Detroit Pistons, they won their last contest, that game against the Magic in Orlando.
And one way to nullify a home court advantage, like they did that night, Kevin, light it up from the three-point line. Nothing is more demoralizing to a home crowd.
Steve, you're exactly right. I mean, that was the great equalizer. Their perimeter play definitely took them over the top.
Outside Jennings. He passes to Jimenez. Al Harrington grabs the board.
Al Harrington is back after missing all but a handful of games last season. The summer prior, after a knee surgery, he suffered a staph infection in his knee, and it had to be frustrating for him.
Offensive rebound. Okafor.
Pretty bad defense, letting the offense get right to the rim, but smart play to foul once he was there.
But you know what's going to happen. They sent a message right there. Nothing easy inside.
He's off on the second. The Pistons have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Out of bounds, Washington takes possession. Doris Burke had a chance to catch up with head coach Randy Whitman. Doris, what did he have to say?
We went over the matchups in tonight's game, and when we came to Nene, he told me, now there's a player. You just don't find big men with that kind of body who's that light on his feet. I don't know if it's his soccer background, but the way he moves, it's awfully tough to stay between him and the iron. Guys, that's the goal, but we'll see if they're able to make it happen. Back to you.
Thanks, Doris. Look from Billups. And that comes off the assist by John Wall. And Al Harrington certainly fits a need for a lot of teams. The spread 4, for instance.
Yeah, when your power forward can step outside and knock the three-pointer down, it's incredible the spacing that occurs for your offense, and that really gives a lot of driving and passing lanes for your teammates.
Spread 4, the stretch 4, whatever you want to call it. One of those nice things that the game has added that has been fun to watch and it's developed.
Yeah, it sure has.
So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. You know, Josh Smith is one of the last guys you want to see in the open court if you're a defender. I mean, when he's coming at you and slamming on you and you're backpedaling and looking over your shoulder, oh man, that's a scary, scary feeling.
Well, Steve, back to Smith, a great combination of quickness and strength and leaping ability.
Yeah, he moves like a small forward, but can finish over the biggest and tallest players in this league. So when he gets ahead of steam in transition, you got to watch out.
Here's Maverick following the score by Trevor Ariza. Smith drives in. Jimenez hits the three-point bomb. Mavericks got 5 now.
Offensively, he can be the engine that drives them at any given time.
Outside, Wall. Okafor with the screen on Jennings. The dish to Okafor. Terrific design on the pick play. He lays it in.
Very well executed pick to give him all kinds of space to get that one off.
Points in the paint for the Wizards, really a problem area last season. Even with their revamped front court, it was not easy for them to finish at the rim. Maybe a full year of having John Wall healthy will help that because he creates easy scoring opportunities. I tell you what, that's too good a look to pass up there. Even though it didn't go, that's one you got to take.
Phillips with the ball. Coming off a solid outing against Minnesota. Harrington kicks the Wall. Shot clock at 5. It's up a 3. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out east already. We are in December. Taking a look at Washington. And Detroit has possession. It's a 3-point game. Caldwell Pope passes to Nene. Jimenez. Ariza covering. The shot's good from Jimenez. Mavericks got his 3rd basket of the night. As for the Wizards, as you said, Clark, they ended up being the 2nd worst team in the NBA when it came to points in the paint. But they just couldn't get much going from their bigs down low, Steve.
And some of that was the injury to John Wall early because he's the one who has to set the table for those guys. But look, this is a team that has made some improvements. They're gaining some momentum. They've got some good young talent. I think that area, the points in the paint, is going to improve as this season goes on.
They've got Al Harrington all out there with Chauncey Billups. Then it's Trevor Ariza. And it's Okafor in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the 5 on the 4 for the Wizards. And Caldwell Pope gets the basket.
You know, he's got a quick trigger from that range when he senses that the defense has backed off.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Wall dishes to Okafor. And that comes off the assist by John Wall. That's 7 points for Emeka Okafor. Smith outside. Pass to Jimenez. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
Kevin, he's got such a great focus as a shooter. He's a very frustrating player to guard because unless you actually block his shot, you are not going to get in his head and affect him.
And Steve, just like you, when you shot, you had a favorite spot on the floor when you played. His favorite spot seems to be that 3 from the corner.
Yep. Kevin Serafin, he's checked in for Washington. Trevor Booker comes in for Al Harrington.
Now the shots are starting to fall a little bit more than they did in the first quarter.
Yeah, they say it's not how you drive, it's how you arrive in golf. Well, a shaky start can be overcome because now they're starting to heat up.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris.
Hi, Kevin. Maverick in that last game against the Magic delivered quite a performance. He ended with 28 points, but also came away with 5 big rebounds. He seemed to be everywhere on the floor the entire time and really was the star of the show, Kevin.
All right, Doris, thank you. He played at a level that very few players are capable of playing, Clark.
Yeah, I agree. I was just glad I got a chance to witness. It's always such a special night when a player of his caliber gets so locked in and focused.
And you know, in an 82-game season with so much talent, every once in a while, everything's going to click. And that was definitely the case that night.
Back to Smith. The Pistons working the ball around now. Jennings with the bucket.
That's far too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
Well, that's 3 of the last 5 makes having been behind the 3-point line. So got to make some adjustments defensively.
Kicks it out to Ariza. Outside Billups. For the 3. Kept alive. Outside Wall. There's 49 seconds left in the second quarter. Serafin. Here's Booker. And So he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two. He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now. And a different look here for the Pistons. And he's good on the second.
One of the problems for the Pistons last season was they always seemed to come out after halftime flat. Just couldn't sustain the kind of intensity and focus needed to win consistently. That was a big part of why they had such a tough year.
30 seconds left in the first half of the game. This is it to Porter. Cannot hit. Good work defensively by Monroe. Pistons leading by 7. Here's Jimenez. Excellent defense there from Chris Singleton. Here comes Porter, averaging 8 points a game. Taken away. Siva. A finger roll finish at the bucket. He's got 7.
That finish brings me back to the old days. The silky smooth finger roll.
And so that brings the first half to a close.
Now, presented by Sprint. The NBA season is rolling. The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back to Washington, D.C., a view of the Capitol, the Washington Monument, and beyond that, the Lincoln Memorial.
Really an extraordinary game for Maverick. He's got 13 points, and he's got 9 points from behind the arc.
Yeah, that's been an important part of his game today. He's made his open look.
We've got a moment. Let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade. All fueled up for the second half. And Detroit looking at who they've got. Jimenez in at the 3. Nene is out there at Greg Monroe. Then there's Jennings, and it's Stuckey in at the 2-guard spot.
For most of the start of the Wizards' 2012-13 campaign, the question was, when is John Wall going to return? Well, the answer ended when he came back in January and quickly made his presence felt on that team.
Outside for Harrington. And that comes off the assist by John Wall. Wall's got assist number 7 for him tonight. Pistons leading by 3. And what a huge difference for the Wizards record-wise once John Wall returned last season, Clark. The record 5-28 with him out. And then with him playing, 24-25.
Yeah, that's the first record on pace for 12 wins. That would have been the worst in the league by far. The second record is on pace for 40 wins, which in the East would have put them in the mix for the 7th spot. So a huge difference there.
He feeds it to Stuckey. That's good. Stuckey's got 5.
I'll tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
For Washington, they've gone 3 of 3 from the field since halftime. And Wall kicks to Okafor. Craig Monroe with the rebound. Monroe's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
Even with that miss, they're shooting 75% coming out of the break. That's a strong start to the half. He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
Artel Webster, he's checked in for Rodney Stuckey. Wall attacking. Okafor. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Last season, Emeka Okafor was healthy after a tough spell of injury in New Orleans, guys. I mean, he bounced back and then some with his rebounding numbers on a per-minute basis.
And you look at the numbers for Okafor last season, his field goal percentage did fall, his worst in the last 7 seasons.
You know, he started shooting over twice as many mid-range jumpers as he ever had before in his career. And maybe that's because he's getting a little older. He's not able to get to the rim quite as often.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Hi, guys. Kevin Seraphin surprisingly adept in the low post. But Coach Randy Whitman said, quote, "We're trying to continue his growth at being more able to get to the free throw line, drawing contact with his post moves, being more aggressive on a face-up instead of just always settling for a quick move." Seraphin conceded, quote, "I have to lean more on my guy when I play because now I just play with my hook, my shot and everything. If you want to play inside, you have to be tough." Guys, he's got great touch, but still putting it all together.
Yeah, he's figuring out how to take the best advantage of his great size. I think he's well on his way. Thanks, Doris. Detroit making a switch here. Smith has checked in. Bulls. Great assist by Brandon Jennings. Jennings has got 3 assists in the game. Wizards trailed by 5. Okafor sets the pick for Wall. Here's the floater.
Yeah, trying to put a little mustard on the hot dog there. That was just convert the shot. Come on.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him. Boy, the Wizards had a hard time getting wins against the rest of the conference, and a big part of why they never built any momentum up at any point of the season. When you can't find it in your ability to beat other teams in your conference, it's a long season for you. You know, I wouldn't be surprised to see them double up here.
I agree. They haven't been able to succeed with single coverage to this point.
The Pistons have gone just 4 of 8 from the line tonight, hoping to move that free throw percentage up a bit. Well, back to the Wizards. 52 games this season are played in conference, and they struggled against the East, so it really did create a huge roadblock for them. Only 15 conference wins for them, and Steve, that was the second fewest in the East.
Yeah, and the East, as we know, last year was really weak, so that number is pretty alarming, especially when you consider how well Washington played down the stretch.
Booker, and that one's good. Booker's got 7 points in the game.
You know, when he gets the ball that close to the basket, it's almost an automatic 2 points.
Well, the defense has to battle him down there and keep him out of position in the first place. Do your work early.
The offensive rebound, and the whistle blows. It's going to be on John Wall. That's his first foul, and the Pistons making a change here. Here's Maverick, guarded by Porter. Here's Stuckey. Again, the miss by the Pistons.
Boy, he'd like to have that one back.
It's off his foot, and the ref saying he kicked it. And the Pistons making a change here. Here's the feed to Beal. He dishes it to Maynard. The pass to Temple. Kicks to Maynard. Shot clock at 6.
Well, a lot of tough teams in this league. Here's where Washington sits right now in the ranking. 3rd in rebounding, 11th in free throw percentage. And they're in the top half of the league distributing the basketball as well. Not too shabby, room for improvement, but acceptable.
And the rebounds really jump out at me, Clark, when you talk about all those numbers. I mean, this is a ferocious rebounding team. They're very physical, and they always take the fight to their opponent. They seem to own the paint, and when they do that well, they're awfully tough to beat.
For Brad Beal, it wasn't an easy start to his career. I mean, he was putting up points, but shooting a very low percentage. Then once John Wall came back from injury, he improved leaps and bounds with his efficiency. No coincidence there, I bet.
Stuckey against Okafor. Here's Maverick. 19 points in the game. Fires from the wing. And Detroit again with the bucket. And you mentioned how Brad Beal's play improved with John Wall back in that lineup in Washington with the Wizards. That had to take some pressure off.
Yeah, I think so. Beal, may have a good handle, but there's no question he's a shooting guard. And playing alongside Wall makes the most sense, where he can run off screens and spot up. But I think Beal has a very bright future.
He kicks it to Porter. Finds the bottom of the bucket from 13 feet out. Porter's got his second basket of the night.
And they have to mix it up defensively. That was just too easy.
Back to Smith. He passes to Jimenez. Singler passes to Jimenez. Battier, guarded by Porter. Here's Maverick. The Pistons working the ball around now. Battier. Here's Jimenez. And there's another one for the Pistons.
He's showing some kind of a killer instinct this quarter, trying to stretch this lead out.
Now Maynard. It's Porter outside. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And that does it for the third quarter. Both teams clicking offensively as we approach the fourth quarter. The Pistons on top, leading by 8. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get started for the fourth quarter.
special New Year's Eve NBA.
Well, welcome back as we get set to start the fourth. And a chance for just a second now to check out the scoring breakdown for Detroit.
These long-range shots look like layups out there, guys.
Another thing they've done tonight is work the ball into the paint for plenty of those close-range points. You got to have those.
All out there with Chauncey Billups. And it's Trevor Ariza. Then it's Al Harrington. And it's Okafor in at the center position. That's the 5 on the floor for the Wizards. Gets the bucket. Wizards trail by 10. Double team on Billups. Poked away. Now it's Battier running. He can go all the way. And you know that's going to be goaltending, guys. So that's a free basket right there.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
A lot of noise coming from these fans. Pretty unhappy with that call.
Well, you know, we've got a lot of amateur officials in the crowd, and not one of them liked it.
Billups dishes the Wall. It's Ariza on the wing. Back to Wall. Leads him in there. Emeka Okafor the bucket on the assist by Wall. And that's 11 points for Emeka Okafor.
And that assist earned him a little nod from his teammate after the basket.
It's back to Battier. Pass to Jimenez. Feeds it to Battier. Battier gets a screen from Jimenez. Here's the screen. The drive by Monroe. Goes back up. And Detroit again with the bucket. And we've made our way through just over a minute and a half in this fourth quarter. Back to Ariza. Detroit with the rebound. Monroe's got 6 rebounds now in the game.
Tell you what, the fans certainly got their money's worth in that game. It was a battle, and a really gritty win for that club, Clark.
Tell you what, Steve, they saved their best for last that day. A lot of toughness on display in that overtime.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Hi, Kevin. Randy Whitman was just going over the plan with his team. He let his players know that they've got to do a better job on defense. He said they're scoring any way they want. We've got to show some pride here. Let's make a stand defensively, get us stops, and get on a run of our own. Do they have it in them, Kevin?
From deep, Billups. Rebound, Detroit. Monroe's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Jimenez, the pass to Nene. Here's Maverick. He's guarded by Harrington. Lets it go from 11. And Okafor with the block. And there's the call on Maverick. That is his first foul of the game. The Pistons making a change here. Smith has checked in. Nene against Okafor. Here's Harrington. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. It's going to be on Josh Smith. That one falls for Harrington. He makes 1 of 2 that time. Detroit leading by 13. Pass to Smith. Smith left side. Pass to Jimenez. The Pistons rebound. Out to Smith. Another shot. He lays it in.
Gotta love the finger roll up and over the defense.
For Washington, they've gone 1 of 4 since the end of the third quarter. And Wall kicks to Okafor. Wall, he's guarded by Jennings. Billups dishes to Ariza. Rebounded by Greg Monroe. Detroit's gotten a positive outcome on 7 of their 14 three-pointers in this game. Not bad at all. Jimenez, the pass to Jennings. Jennings off a pick from Jimenez. Foul call. Looked like the D didn't get there in time, and he'll shoot free throw. They get Al Harrington. That free throw, no good.
I think Greg Monroe offers a lot for a team. I mean, he's a big man who can pass and shoot at a high level. But the one thing he doesn't do is really protect the rim. He's not a shot blocker in the traditional sense of the word.
Going back to Greg Monroe in Detroit, not a big leaper or shot blocker, but they drafted Andre Drummond, number 9 overall last year. They should be making a very nice pairing for a long time there.
Well, you think about Drummond, a super athlete and a shot blocker. Greg Monroe with his terrific skill level. Really does seem like Detroit has found its front court tandem for the next decade.
Tries again. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. And that's now 6 points for Chauncey Billups. We've got 1:48 left in the game. Jennings covered by Wall. Monroe, the pass to Jimenez. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Dishes it to Jennings. He feeds it to Monroe. There's the pass to Jimenez. Just 4 to shoot. Now Harrington grabs the board. Harrington's got his 5th rebound in this one. Billups kicks the Wall. Jennings with the steal. Inside. Got a piece of it. And stolen by Ariza. Wall's shot is off.
The defense was ready for him that time, and they had to be. He is so powerful in the lane.
And he's knocked off course by the D. The foul called. He'll shoot free throws. First one falls for him.
You know, it was interesting. Last season, Josh Smith really had issues at the foul line. Started the year off slow and never could get on track. Strange to see, you know, a talented player like that and a guy who's been a reasonable foul shooter in the past have such a dip like that.
Washington has gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. Billups attacking. Harrington. Wide open look. No good off the back of the rim.
He's killing them with his poor shooting. The defense is more than willing to give him those shots now.
And for Josh Smith, his shooting touch has been a weak point.
Yeah, it has been up and down, inconsistent, but he's a terrific finisher inside. The question throughout his career is, why does he shoot so many outside jumpers? He's a tremendous player in every other facet of the game. You could argue that if not for his suspect shot selection, he'd already have made at least 1 or more All-Star games.
So Detroit ends up going with the new group. Here's Temple. The shot is off. And Detroit the other way now. Here's Jimenez. No good. Great D that time from Temple. Washington shooting 41% for the game. Now here's Beal. D right on him. And it's sent back by Monroe. Here's Maverick. There's the triple. And so it's the Pistons taking care of business here.